Hey guys, welcome. Happy Monday, and welcome to Paranormal Connections radio show. I'm your host, Christina George, and for the next 2 hours, if you don't like drama, you might want to turn the channel. Might want to get off my page, might not want to check it out, but who knows? Maybe you do. Maybe you like drama. Seems to be very popular in the paranormal field. So, welcome to haters and supporters around. I am sure tonight in the chat room. Hey guys, I'm seeing everybody popping in. Thanks so much. Uh, wow, you guys are really pouring in there. Okay, so tonight we got a lot to talk about. All right. Hey Pat, George is not here tonight. Tonight it is going to just be me. And part of the reason it's just going to be me, and hi guys, you guys are all, I'm going to have to try to stay on top of all this. Hi, Diego from Brazil. Nice to see you. Hey, Selena, welcome. Kristen, Kimmy, Kara, everybody. Boy, you guys are all here. Hey, George. George is in there watching. And he's going to have the night off tonight. I gave him the night off because I wanted people to realize, okay, I've been doing this show for many, many years. And I cover every possible topic in the paranormal you could think of. But every once in a while, there is something. Hey, Brian, nice to see you, hon. There are certain times where certain things come up in this field that I feel need to be exposed. People who follow the show have known that I have called out people who were pedophiles. I have called out people who are hebephiles. I have called out people who were sending unsolicited dick pics to other women, including married women, in the paranormal. I have put on blast people who are fake demonologists, all kinds of things. But I want people to understand the reason that I do this is not to be the quote unquote bully. It's because in this field, we connect with people that we really don't know. We don't know anything about them. And unfortunately, um, there's a lot of stuff that's going on behind the scenes that people don't realize. So they'll meet somebody, seem like a cool person, and then before you know it, they're on your back and they're going after you. And I personally am very used to it. I've been doing this for a very long time, so for me, it's nothing. When I say I do not care, if people like me, people like what I cover on the show. If they like the show or don't like the show, I don't care if they like my actions or don't. If you don't like me, you don't like what I do, delete me. Super easy, not a problem. Some people like me, some people hate me, some people like and hate me at the same time. They like certain things I say and other things they don't. Some people come to all of my shows, some people only come to topic shows and no, exposing or drama shows. So it's all over the place. Um, hey, Pamela, nice to see you. And oh, actually, got Pamela W and Pamela J. Nice to see you guys. Hey, Chrissy. Hey, Rhonda. Uh, You guys are really coming in here. I do want to say, everybody that is on this stream tonight, please, please, please share this on your pages, share it in your groups, make sure the information gets out, because after what's happened since the last show that George and I did, it has been an actual clusterfuck. I swear to God, people will just pull information from their ass and think it's real, or they just make up stuff because they figure if they seem like they're the victim that they can twist it around. And then we've got just such uneducated people in this field that will jump up and jump on the bandwagon of whatever they see. So we did a show, for those who didn't see last week's show. We did. Hey, David, nice to see you. Rhonda says you're protecting people. I am trying. That is true, and I'll get into that. Jackie says I get it, and I love you all. Oh yeah, I love you too, Jackie. There's a lot of people again that have been following this drama, and I pick and choose what I put out, and I'll tell you, for anybody who didn't see last week's show, I did a show about Ryan Ayers, and he also goes by Ryan Privy. It's a psychic advisor on the page. He's got about 20 different pages. He's the biggest black eye I've seen in this field in quite a while. Hey, Angel, nice to see you. Jackie says I shared it, and yes, it's a clusterfuck. Yeah, it really is, and it's too bad. And after tonight, I will move on to the next topic, and little Mr. Ryan will get no more attention from me publicly. Don't worry, Ryan. Behind the scenes, still going to be watching you. But we talked about Ryan last week because Ryan had contacted me, told everybody that I contacted him, begging him to come on my show. I have the screenshots from the show page. Maybe he didn't even know it was me. I mean, nobody seems to really do any damn research in a field of researchers. So he messaged me and wanted to know if I would support his his tours. And I didn't know who he was at the time. And so I said, sure, why not? That's what I do. And, people who are in our area, I really try to support if I can. Now, I will tell you that on a show prior to that, we had talked about that we had been invited to go to a haunted farmhouse out in Turlock, California. And I didn't mention any names of who this person was, but I will tell you, I was flooded with messages from people that know him, that are mutual friends of mine, and they were all telling me, whatever you do, don't have this guy on, like he's a fraud, he's this, he's that, blah, 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 blah. And, I was still talking to him. Anybody who knows me knows that I don't go by what other people say. Just don't. Or rumors, because 99% of the time it is just personal issues that people have with each other, and you'll usually find that they were friends at some point, and then as soon as they get, I don't know, as soon as they get butthurt from whatever you say or what you do, then they will turn around and they will either publicly attack you, privately attack you, or attack you on other pages that they think you won't see. After being in the field and making connections over the last 15 years, please believe I got a lot of people with a lot of mutual friends all over the world. So there's usually quite a few people that message me and let me know what's going on. I really don't follow all the craziness because personally, like I said, I don't care what people think about me. I do what I do because I feel that's what I need to do. So we brought this, I was talking to him, and so I said, wow, you got some haters out there. And he was like, oh, yeah. And he just starts to blurt out about 8 of my personal friends and telling me he has all these problems with them and they're all jealous of him and they tried to shut his tours down and blah, 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 blah. So again, I gave him the benefit of the doubt. We were going to, George and Kara had an event to do. Well, Kara had an event to do, and George and I were going to go and check out his tour and then go to the haunted location, farmhouse afterwards. Hold on. Tammy said, hey, Tammy, she says, that's the biggest problem in this field. Everyone's feel they need to bring everyone into their drama. Oh, my God. And boy, was this the premise of everything. I was so shocked I was not shocked at the things that were being said. I was kind of a little taken back of the people who were saying it. But people get mad. I mean, they say shit. It doesn't bother me. But how it all transpired was just absolutely crazy. So I talked again to Ryan a little more. And the more that we got into the conversation, we were talking about cases and things like that. And he was telling me about a demonic case he had in Turlock and everything. And all of a sudden, all the bells and lights go off in my head because I was asked to consult or take over a case that a third party had come to me and said, look, we've had a couple of teams and people out there, including our own, to try to help this family. Nothing that we've done has helped. So, they're told that they've got demons in their house. The demons are after the 9-year-old son. As soon as I hear kids are involved, I was right on it. I was super busy, but I said, yeah, I do it. So the very next weekend, I made arrangements to go out. I went to this place in Turlock and walked in the house, did a walkthrough, and the third party person, and I'm not even going to mention her name. She threat. I actually probably should, only because the bitch actually had the nerve to come on my in my private messages today and tell me that if I mentioned her name, that she would come out and she had found all this stuff out about me. I kind of laugh because when people tell me that, it's that you're getting to them. You know that they're scared, and so they're trying to scare you back. I told her, go Google me. Go look me up. Do whatever you want. There is nothing out there that anybody can post about me that's going to hurt my feelings. I have had rumors that I have killed my own grandmother. I have had a local newspaper who was friends with one of the haters write up articles that ended up the court took down because they were lies. I have had people say that I stole haunted statues from a client, and I sold them for $300,000 each. And I've been living on the on in the black under the black market underground so that nobody can find me. I've also been told that a case that I worked on out in Sacramento for it was an unsolved murder of a teenage girl. I was also rumored that I wasn't a real psychic, and the reason that I knew all the information was that I was the prime suspect, and that not only was the FBI, but the local police were all looking for me so they could start my court case and put me under the jail. And so I there's not really a whole lot you can put out about me that's really going to hurt me. I mean, the things that could have hurt me were put out years ago, uh, weren't true, but just hurt my feelings that they had made them up. But this is talking years now, okay, that this has all happened. And I found it very funny. I found it funny that people in this field are so goddamn stupid that they'll listen to whatever anybody posts on the internet and believe it's true without going and doing any research of their own to find out if it's true. I had probably half of the paranormal field blacklist me over these rumors. And what happened? A year passed, 2 years passed. The missing Kate, the unsolved murder that I worked on and was on the news about, 1 year to the date, they found the killer and they convicted him with DNA, just as I had said on the news. So that kind of went out the window. Um, Second year went, third year went. Everybody in social media could find me anywhere on any platform on social media, and I'd tag myself where I was at, do live streams, but nobody in the world could figure out why the police and the FBI couldn't find me. I mean, and I wish that this was a joke, but this is like serious. It's serious. So just so you know, hey Paula, David said you're a bulletproof by now. I truly am. I really do believe that. It's crazy how it all transpires, but yeah, it's like at the beginning when you're new in this field and you first start kind of getting attention and start putting stuff out and get a following, it feels good. But when people that you think, especially people who are empaths, I just want to point that out. When you are an empath, all of a sudden, it's like you believe what they say because there's so much hatred with what they put, and you wonder, like, what did you do? And it's, what did I do to deserve this? And nowadays you don't have to do shit. You can just say the wrong thing. Look at during the presidential elections, we saw people who had friends for 20, 30 years no longer be friends because they were on opposite sides of the political debate. So I mean, again, this is our reality now, people. So you can say it's drama, you can say whatever it is, but it is what it is. So just how it is. Hold on. Samantha says they just make the people find you and then they see the truth. I will say that's very true as well, Samantha. Hey, Joe. Hey, everybody. That is very true. And one of the reasons that I don't care, well, I don't care for many reasons what people think anymore. They can like me or not, doesn't make a difference. They can make shit up about me. It's not going to change anything for me. But for other people, yeah, you can. I have seen Ryan himself. I'm not the only person he's attacked. He's attacked George, made up falsehoods about him that he was on drugs. And I mean, again, it's like they grab something and then they just run with it. And, there's all these fucking stupid people out there in the field that are like, oh my God, somebody said George says does drugs. Somebody said Christina's a satanic witch. It must be true. But for some people, unlike me, for some people, they might have a job that, could be affected. I have, since this show came out last week, I have been flooded probably more than at least 100 at this point. Different stories of people, just horror stories that this guy's got mad at him. People that used to be on his team, used to be his friends, they found him out, and then he goes and attacks everybody. And it seems like he makes the same shit up about everybody. Everybody's a witch. Everybody's got demons. Well, he's got demons too, so although he's a demonologist, obviously not a very good one. But our big personal issue between him and I was I kind of called him out because, and not even publicly, I called him out privately because once I started thinking about, and I found out that this Ryan was the same Ryan that was behind the craziness of the case that I had. So I went to the home. He was actually texting her while I was there, telling her that he had a group of people he wanted to take on a tour of her house. And she had moved out of it, obviously, because she was super scared for her family based on what he had told her. And she told him that, I was coming along with my team. And he told her that I would, we were witches and that if we went in there, we would make it worse, blah, 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 blah. I told him, oh, I actually do know you. I didn't realize it. I know you because I had the Turlock case that you took on. And he was like, oh, yes. Oh, my God, that was horrible. It was demonic. And they were after the kid. And, we tried for months and months to try to get rid of it and nothing worked. And we took prayers and she was having, being possessed and all this kind of stuff. And I was like, wow, really? And I'm like, well, that was kind of funny because I walked in and, I said, I'm a psychic that sees things. He says, well, I'm a psychic too. And I said, okay, well, then how come you didn't know that there were no demons there? There were spirits there. I'll give him that. There was activity there. I will, give him that. But demonic, absolutely not. There was one guy's spirit that was very angry, very pissed off, and very attracted as well. I have categorized these uh, human spirits as creeper spirits. So anyway, I went in, did what I do, and what do you know? Me not being a demonologist, obviously, if it was a demon, what I'm doing and cleansing and salting and oiling, all that kind of stuff, if it was a demon, it's not going to work. I'm not a demonologist. I don't know how to get rid of demons. I would have had to call somebody else in. But I was able to get rid of it in just one trip. Okay. Family's doing great. Husband and wife are doing great. Just had a brand new baby. Family's happy. They live back in the house. Whole 9 yards. This guy scared this family and this child so bad that they moved out of their home just for money so he could do tours in their house. So when I had approached him about it, he got into a fight with me. And he said that the only way that you can get, rid of things is with prayers. And so we kind of got a little bit of debate about that. Like, okay, well, I customize my cleansings because if you go in and you're a Christian group and you go into, say, an atheist home or a Muslims home or things like that, like they're not going to believe that you can do anything if you come in sprinkling holy water everywhere and saying prayers because they don't believe in that. They have to believe in what you're doing. It needs to be based around what their belief systems are for them to believe it, be able to take their home back. And if you're not educated enough in this field, that is exactly what happens. You'll think that it's something dark because you can't get rid of it. No, you just don't know what the hell you're doing. And this was kind of the case as well. Um, yeah, and let's see. Paula says, demonologist studies demons, not ridding them. That Absolutely. Demonology, and Sarah saying the same thing. She says, correct, Paula. Exorcists get rid of demons. Demonology is a study of demons. That's true. You see, I got some smart people around here. Kimmy saying, yes, Christy, you're spot on. Thank you. Oh, Devin was having connections problem. Glad you're back. Trying to go through this stuff. So we did the show. We also brought, so after we got over that whole fight, and he was trying to tell me I didn't know what I was talking about. And I'm like, obviously, you know, we don't need to fight about this because we have two different ways of doing things. Does it matter to me? No. What I told him is what mattered was that in the end, I was able to help them. And that should have been the only real thing there. But of course, it wasn't. Uh, so I ended up doing a little bit more digging. More people came to me, started sharing screenshots, started sharing experiences they had with him, picture. Just it was crazy. And I invited those a few people to come on. One of them, Nathaniel, decided to come on, and he actually was part of the Turlock Demon case as well, and was able to verify that he did go to that home, and he was called by Ryan, and the way that his team was people that went on his tour and paid to go on the tour, he basically charged them to then come and investigate this place. So it wasn't like he had an experienced team or anything like that. He just found a few people that were on his tour and said, hey, you want to come and investigate? And they said, sure. So go figure why they couldn't get rid of it, right? So anyway, Nathaniel came on the show. They were friends. I also talked to a couple other people who were helping Ryan for quite a long time with all of the tours. And the things that they were telling me was just blowing me out of the water of why they're no longer friends. And the one thing that I noticed is that with each person, they would send me the screenshots of the things that had been said about them as well. And what I noticed was a pattern. Whenever he gets mad, he will claim that somebody's a witch. He'll claim that they're demonic. He'll claim that, they're frauds. He'll claim, whatever. He'll make shit up. He'll twist things to make it seem like it's somebody else. But you can do that on the internet. But the funny thing is that there's all kinds of information out there about everybody on the internet. So just like you can look up information on us, we can look it up on you. I mean, but does it need to get to a point when you get mad at somebody that you can't provoke them? Instead, you look for any kind of dirt in their past from them. Now, I've said we need to know who we're investigating with, and I do believe that. Do I think that if you have a criminal record or a criminal background, you should not be in the paranormal? Absolutely not. There are plenty of people that have made mistakes. Nobody is perfect. But I do think that if you, say, are a pedophile, if you've been a child predator, if you have done bodily injury to somebody and some kind of an assault charge, if you attempted murder, if you have domestic violence on your record, if you have anything that would put other people in danger that might be investigating with you or interacting with you, I think these people should be exposed because there is no governing body over this. There is no application process you have to go through to be able to be in the paranormal. Anybody can do it. And as we've seen on these other shows I've done, there's plenty of them out there. And I kind of felt the same way about this. Now, a lot of people want to or wanted me to shut him down. You know, in a way, I thought, like, yep, this guy is such a black eye to the paranormal, and this is what he's doing over and over and over and over, trying to ruin people's lives and then playing the victim in all of this. I thought, maybe I need to. And I started thinking about all of my friends that he was constantly attacking. And I thought, maybe, again, maybe I need to. But when I took the time to think about it, it wasn't about ruining him. Really wasn't. And I was not going to jump in to defend other grown adults that can handle their own self. Um, I was, again, it was disturbing to me that he was attacking a lot of people. Hey, Adam. Hey, everybody. Um, oh, I'm sorry. And Kimmy says theft, no theft. Yeah. And, funny thing is that he has a theft charge on his record, but he wants to call out people. Now, mind you, okay, so now there's a group of us that he's attacking. And he couldn't get any, reaction from anybody. So he decided he was going to go and look everybody's criminal record up. And the shit that he was putting out was absolutely ridiculous because he couldn't really find anything. He found bankruptcies for people from, 10, 15 years ago, from medical issues, people having cancer and, huge medical bills. So they had to go through bankruptcy. I mean, again, stupid speeding tickets. Okay, if you have a speeding ticket, oh my God, put it out on Facebook and you'll ruin me. Oh, really? But I guess you got to give him an F for trying, and he really sucked a big one on that one. But this has been going on. So right after the show, he got very upset, and he went on to the page, or went on to the radio show stream and just started. I mean, for like 2 days, this guy constantly was just trolling the page. He was talking shit. He was putting stuff up, like he was taking screenshots of the show and finding like where George was like looking up, or I was looking crazy when you freeze frame it or something, and he was putting that up saying, oh my God, this shows that he's a drug addict. And I'm thinking like, wow, really. I Kimmy says bankruptcy question mark, so fucking what, speeding tick, lol, way stupid. He even tried to say, oh, Christina, you got 5 charges in your history, and the shit, put them up. Put them up. Go ahead. I don't care. I mean, that's the thing. How are you going to try to blackmail me with some shit that I don't care about? See if you can find anything on me. Anything. In like, what, I'm 51? At least the last 20 years. 15 years, somewhere around there. Uh, see, I've had speeding infractions. Yeah, I've had traffic infractions, misdemeanor things, stuff like that. I did have some stuff that happened when I was married, which was due to my ex-husband, and that was taken care of. It was expunged. Uh, Again, has there been anything in current last 10, 15 years? You couldn't find nothing. So whatever. Even if I did go and use it at this point, I wouldn't even care what they put up. It's so damn ridiculous. Um, but not only was he doing that and trying to put people's backgrounds out to ruin them, he also has about 20, at least 20 profiles. Now, mind you, these are profiles that are in men's names, women's names, with no pictures, with pictures of cats, with just whatever. But the thing is, my friend Ryan, and I know you're watching because you've been all over the page as much as you possibly can with your threads. Uh, the thing is that just like there's information out there for you to find, there's information for us to find. And the information I found, I would be a lot more concerned with what I found, because you do have a job, and you do have a job with children. And worst part about it is uh, the children he works, he's a special ed teacher, okay, out in the Modesto area. And I have screenshots, and I'm going to put them up. I really don't even care anymore, but I'm going to put these uh, screenshots up of this group conversation, because I really think people need to see who this guy is behind the scenes. He may be playing the victim here, because people are calling him out, and he's like a trap rabbit, or at this point, he's a trap rat. He doesn't know what to do. So, or a rabid dog that's in a corner. So he's just going to try to attack it with anything he possibly can to get the focus off of himself. But I will tell you, for anybody, and this includes myself, was very disturbing, because I have family members who have disabilities, or children that have disabilities. Um, I have children who are mixed, and the things that I was seeing and hearing was absolutely disgusting. And this was in a private group chat. Okay. So this was a group of, again, these were all friends, and they trusted each other. And he would get off work and he would go and vent about these children. I saw things saying, oh, this jihad wearing Muslim kid, and all these spit kids here. ADHD is bullshit. They do it for attention. Talking about how he thinks he hates the kids so much that he has to have in his class, that he was thinking about getting a picture of a demon and then sharing it to these disabled kids and telling them that these demons were going to come after them and they were all going to hell. Now, first of all, who the hell says something like that? But then he was also talking about the black kids, the Hispanic kids. He was talking about with the all of the illegals, and all of the Mexicans and the Muslims and the blacks were filling the schools, and that the black kids, no wonder they have so many problems, and continuously states how much he hates these children. So when I saw this, I was severely disturbed, and I decided to take some action. So things are going on in the behind the scenes, and it's going to be my goal, call me a bully or not, that this man is no longer a teacher. So I am, it's in the works, and more than likely, Ryan, you'll be pretty pissed off here in the next couple weeks when you get some notices. So be careful who you try to go after when you don't really know what they're capable of doing as well. But I did that because I care about the kids. And I hate racist people. I hate you guys. If you're racist out there, get the fuck off of my stream. I hate people like that. So anyway, I had all of these reasons that I could just completely destroy him. But again, I didn't want to make it personal. So I invited the ex-team member of his, Nathaniel, to come on. And what he had shared with people and revealed on the stream was, I didn't think it could get any worse, but please believe it did. And if you haven't seen that stream, make sure to go to last Sunday, I believe, and Monday, and check out the shows. We found out that he had went to a local cemetery, and he believed that a witch was buried there, and that the family of this witch had went and buried coins and jars with candles and different things in and around that family member's gravesite. And he took it upon himself, because they were witches, and that's satanic, that it was his job to, oops, sorry guys, it was his job to make sure to go and dig these personal items up that they had buried around their family member's grave. They took it out, told them that it was satanic, and then urinated on the headstone. Now, again, it's not about the whole witch thing. It's not about the religion thing. It's about desecrating anybody's grave. Now, after the show came out, he swore that was all a lie. Nathaniel just hated him and he was just making up stuff. And how could people put such lies out? Until I was sent a picture of him actually with a shovel digging the things up. Well, once that came out, he was kind of again stuck in a corner. So he admitted publicly that yes, he had went and dug this stuff up because witches had, buried it. It was he needed to do that because it was satanic and it was wrong and blah blah blah, um, to try to make it better. And people were sickened by him, and he got a lot of attacks and comments. I'm not gonna lie, yeah, it did trigger a lot of hate towards him. But again, if you don't do shady shit, nobody would have a reason to attack you. And then when you lie about it and then you come back and say, "Oh, well, it's true I dug the stuff up, but I didn't pee on the grave headstone," as if that makes it any better. And guys, I am sorry that I am not getting all of your stuff up. I am so sorry. There's just so many of them. There's so many people on this stream right now. Pat says, I have worked IDD for most of my life. Yes, I know. It just makes me sick how he talks about them. Absolutely. Cheryl says, my daughter has mild autism. And if you, again, Cheryl, watch the page later because I am going to post these screenshots up and let people see this real guy. Let's see how he gets out of this one. Kara says, I was a special ed aide and was absolutely disgusted when I saw what was being said about the kids. Absolutely. Let me go a little more. Gina says, sad. Chrissy says, what the hell? Sick man. Absolutely. Hey, Sparky, nice to see you. David says, he's an ADHD kid. So again, how would you like that? And if it was your child, would you want your child being tormented by somebody like this? Also, in the group chat of this thing, he claims that he had a really bad day, that there was one of his female students that had reported that he had inappropriately touched her, and that he had gotten called into the principal's office, and that he got out of it. And everybody in the group chat was asking how to get out of that, and he said, well, I'm gay. So since I'm gay, they didn't believe it. Well, publicly, all he does is bash anybody who is gay. He says that, Jesus is going to come strike them down dead. When information came out about that on the show, he claimed that it was all a lie, that it actually Nathaniel was the one that was gay. Well, now he says he's bisexual. But again, I was thinking, what in the hell does somebody's sexuality have to do with anything? But what it bothered me is that what a hypocrite. If he's gay, how are you going to call people out and tell them God's going to strike them dead and things like that, based off of that, when you're in the closet? I mean, come on, dude. It's 2018. It's okay to come out of the closet. You know, uh, Interestingly enough, I did a little research with some of my snooping troop, and we found had to have at least been 15, 20 emails that are connected to him. All have the same IP address, all are connected, all of his social media accounts are linked to it. And in there, we had found one of them, which linked the email, linked to a profile on a gay dating site. And it's him. I mean, it's him. Now, again, Ryan, it's okay. It's okay that you're gay. All right. That is not a problem. What I have a problem with is that you're trashing and you're putting down all these people and telling them they're going to hell and everything like that. Dude, you really need to reconsider. You need to go back to church, or you need to get out of the Catholic Church if this is what they're teaching you. I don't know what the hell's going on with you, but you need to do something other than try to trash people for their sexuality, their race. If you are not a Trump supporter, you are also demonic, just so you know. So, gonna have a lot of demonic witches and say, oh, and you're a Satanist. So make sure you get that too. Let me check out a few more things here. Rhonda says, pure ignorance. True. Samantha says, wow, someone really wants to lose their teaching career. And boy, oh boy, I'm telling you, I mean, if you have a career and he says he needs his job so badly and everything, why in the world would you publicly, in any form, especially in a group chat or anything with multiple people, put your true feelings and stuff like that out? Because again, if this ever comes out, do you not think you're going to lose your job? And people have tried, I guess, before to cause him to lose his job, but they just didn't know the right people to contact. And you'd be surprised when you have, a very successful radio show and a whole lot of people who see it in an outrage, that with enough people having a problem with it, plenty of things can be done. So, but he's not the smartest guy in the group, so not surprising that he didn't catch on, and instead he wanted to, talk shit to everybody. Pamela Johnson says, "Oh hell no, he better not be at my son's school." And Pam, that's a very good question. I'm going to check and see, because Pam actually happens to be one of my team member and lives in the area, and her son has Down syndrome and is in school, and he is our team mascot. Love him to death, is gifted as all can believe. And again, the comments were just absolutely disgusting. If it didn't get any worse, then we go to the next topic, and we come to find out that at one point he wanted to see if witchcraft was real. And he decided to go to the cemetery, and he did a quote unquote ritual, and he sacrificed a kitten. Now, Nathaniel was the one who had witnessed. He was bringing equipment, and by the time he got to the spot in the cemetery that they were in, he got there just as the kitten's neck was slit, and he was literally so disgusted by the situation. I mean, it had already happened. There was nothing he could do to stop it. So there's no fault in him. But he left along with another person and has not turned back since. So again, this came out. Ryan's now trying to say that it was actually Nathaniel that did this, but again, I don't believe whatsoever. Castellina says, how is he employed there? Well, again, with nobody knowing this in the school district, or how he truly feels and talks about these children, of what he does to torment them and how he really feels about them, nothing happens. So again, this is where we need to pull together and, make sure that this is such a much bigger issue than just the paranormal. I mean, that's what people don't understand. But, I personally don't want people like this in the field, around me, my friends, my children, my friends' children's, things like that. So, I mean, would you? Samantha says, he is why I don't trust teachers and will homeschool my special needs son. 100%. I actually, for many reasons similar to that, with school systems and not protecting our children, I homeschooled my daughter as well for many, many years. Let's see. Sarah says, he sounds like an absolutely disgusting person. I volunteer helping special needs children every week, and I also volunteer with Children Hospice. I am sick hearing how he's talking about children. Well, once you see the actual screenshots, it will blow you away. I'm telling you, I mean, if I say something on this show, please believe I've got the proof to back it up. Now, I don't always post unless people, want me to, but please believe I've got it, and I will put it up, because he has been saying it's all lies, and I want people to really see that the person that he is, and that way you see that everything he says is a bullshit lie, guys. It is, and you got to stop just believing what anybody says. Kimmy says, that's so effing messed up. Yes, I agree. Rhonda says, oh my God. David says, some of my best friends are witches, and I'm a devout Christian. He's a defective human being. Again, and I agree. I have all kinds of friends that are not only witches, but psychics and Christians and Muslims and people who are into Hindu and uh, what's the, I can't even think. The ones with the Buddhists and the ones that shave their head and they have uh, they're like monks, but they would hang out in the airport and try to convert people. So Russian Christians. So I know people. I've even met and had interviewed people who are quote unquote vampires. I've had people on who are Satanists, had people who are in hoodoo and voodoo, people who, my ex mother in law was into Santeria, and people will think that these are all satanic type of things if you're uneducated. But it's absolutely not the case. I mean, a lot of these are religious beliefs. On In every religion, there's good and there's bad. But in his perception, anything that is not Christian based is satanic, and especially if you are a witch. So just so people know, so ridiculous, I swear. But again, what do you expect? Dave says, this guy is demented. He's 3 fries short of a Happy Meal. Oh, he doesn't even make a Happy Meal. He's pretty bad. Pat says, psycho. Cheryl, he's an idiot. Um, Laura says, love how you bring the real truth out to the light. Well, Laura, you, of all people, you have known me for a very long time. Very long time. You're probably one of my closest friends, but you've seen everything I've gone through over the years, and you know that it's only kind of, instead of push me out of the field, it's only encouraged me more to bring to light these kinds of things. Um, let's see. Lori says, I have 4 children myself that have varied disabilities. Yeah, I bet so. David says, oh, hell no. Um, Gina says, horrible. Cheryl, oh my God. I mean, again, you guys, I get this is the outrage. Devin says, my kid has CP. I would go mental. And again, I think that there wouldn't be the same people that has been supporting this guy if they actually knew the truth. So, that's the thing. Brian says ridiculous. Yeah. I mean, and again, it's like, how are you so racist? How are you so homophobic? How are you all these things been so hypocritical and so uneducated? I just don't understand it. It is just so crazy. And Kimmy says, right? So who the F cares about sexuality? Nobody should, especially not in this day and age. And I surely don't care, but it does bother me because I have friends and I have a daughter who is gay. I have team members who are gay. I had a team member that I lost last year to cancer who was transgender. Um, I judge people on who they are, not in their sexual preferences, their religious beliefs and backgrounds, or even, if we have differences of opinion. I don't agree with everybody, and but I don't go out and trash them because of it. I just don't reply to that post or don't watch that video, and then maybe tomorrow they'll have something different that I'll be interested. Dave says, you should see how he talks to ghosts. It's very rude. That was another thing. That was one of the reasons that George and I had not changed our mind about going on the tour. Now, mind you, we were still going to investigate with him, but he had told me that he was doing a tour and he now has a team of comedians that come in and they provoke the spirits of the prostitutes. And he said, they're pretty raunchy and pretty bad, but that's the only way you can, get them to interact. And I was like, well, I have to disagree. I am completely against provoking. It's all about respect for me. I think anybody who does provoke is full of shit. And so I can't do that. But I'll still investigate with you. I mean, again, it's his right to do what he wants. But that was, oh, hold on just a second. That was another thing. But as soon as I brought that out, he said, oh, I never provoke. When I provoke, All that I say is I call in the name of Jesus. He said, that's as much as bad as it ever gets. Well, boy, oh boy, the people who actually spent time investigating with him, helping with his tours, all of that, oh, they had a much different story. I talked to people who have gone on his tours who confirmed that, yes, he absolutely does provoke, and it's not, hey, in the name of Jesus. No, he's, calling women some pretty raunchy names as well as everything. A great Christian guy, right? Um, so that that was a little disturbing too, and you're right. I mean, Kristen says he's a hypocrite, and he is, absolutely. um Gina says, what kind of person acts like this? And obviously I don't know. Kristen says, guess I'm demonic. Well, aren't we all? Hey. Roger says, my research rivals those on top, but yet I'm unknown to most. I wish I had the followings you both hold, but not the fights that come with it and the hurt. I am personally trying to understand both sides and feel lost. Um, I can understand that. I really can. I will tell you, and I warn a lot of people. A lot of people want to be well known in this field. They want attention, and not everybody is ready for it because people really, really can make up some really horrible shit about people. And the worst part about it is in this field, there's a whole lot of stupid people that will believe it. So go figure. Um, Devin says, I want to be demonic witch. How do I do this? Well, I guess you just hang out with us, and that all makes us demonic witches. So, you know, me, Devin, me and you'll get together. We'll do a little video for him. Oh, that's just how I do things. Kara says, wait, but Trump filed for bankruptcy. I guess that's okay for him, right? Well, of course, Kara, of course. It's always depending on how it is. Um, Andrew says he's used to getting away with this behavior, and he is, and for the biggest part, because he goes and attacks all of the people around him. I have found that he's had a teacher fired, lying on him. He had somebody's husband fired. He had he contacted people's businesses, made up lies, used his fake profiles to leave fake reviews on tour sites to ruin their tours. All different kinds of things. Everything pretty much that he claims everybody else does to him is exactly what he's done. And when you get these, narcissists, that's usually the way it is. It's like, take everything that's all the stuff's going on with you, and twist it and say it's somebody else and make them look like the bad person to take all of the focus off of you, which sometimes works. And people will get afraid, so they won't say anything more, and then they just they don't want the attention or the attack, so they step away. I think that's the problem, unfortunately, is because if somebody goes and bullies somebody, and you leave the field or you leave Facebook or you run scared or you don't want to stand up for yourself, that is when they know they've gotten to you, and they turn up the heat, add a little more. Years and years and years ago, when all of my trolls very first started, when I, had started in the field, they did that to me, and I will tell you, I was very thin-skinned at that point. I was such a strong empath. I couldn't block any of it out. I took it all very personal, and it literally caused me to attempt suicide 3 different times. Thankfully, it didn't, wasn't successful. Although one was pretty close, but um, it can be rough. So, for all these people who want to be in the public eye and they want to have all this following and stuff like that, just remember that at any point of any day, at any time, you could say something which somebody is not going to like, or you can get in an argument with somebody, and the next thing they're going to do is turn against you, and you will be their target. The only thing is, when you have a big following, it usually makes more of an impact because people know your name. So and people in this field, as much as they bitch about people talking about drama, they feed on it. I will tell you that the feeds that I've done, the live streams I've done about the drama, probably been some of the most popular videos that I've done on Facebook itself. But again, with over 500,000 live listeners every week, it gets out either way. So it's something that, again, people say, oh, we don't want to hear about the drama, but yet they're right up in the middle of it and commenting on it. Samantha says, he wouldn't like me either. I say it how it is, whether they like it or not, if it's the truth. Same way. I mean, again, I don't give two shits what people think anymore. I mean, you cannot hurt me whatsoever. Um, yeah, which school does this work at? I will definitely send that to you guys, so you know. Let's see who else. David says, because he is a sociopath, behavioral, antisocial behavior, deceitfulness, hostility, irresponsibility, manipulativeness, risk taking behaviors, aggression, impulsivity, irritability, or lack of restraint. And David, I am so glad you posted that, because at this point, that fits him in every single one of those categories. He fits in right now. So we did the show, and he did not like what was said about him. And so he went on a rampage, and he ended up reporting all of my pages and all of my posts, so that I got in Facebook jail. Because again, the day or two after he was going on the stream, he was harassing people and threatening people and telling one elderly woman who's a stroke survivor, that she's a witch and that he hoped he died, that she died, and that he said, well, if you believe that I urinate on graves, I guess I should go find your husband's grave and make it a reality. Like, who says stuff like this? Who tells somebody that they hope that they die? And I mean, and then they're going to hell, all these kind of things. So I went on the stream and I warned him. And I said, if you continue to threaten and harass people on my stream, then I am going to completely expose you with everything I have on part 2. So at that point, that was like Thursday. He reported everything overnight. Friday morning, when I woke up, I was blocked from all of my streams, all of my pages, all of the stuff. I could see everything, but I could not respond to anything. So that was kind of where it was going. And when he told me that I was banned, he also put up a threat. He said that George and I were banned from his area, his town, any of his tours, and that I better not show up at the tour itself that he was going to do at this farmhouse, or because the owner, now remember, the owner lived across the street. He had a gun and he would shoot me or us. And he also had said, hold on, guys. He also said that he had a taser and he was not afraid to use it on me. Anybody who knows me knows that I don't really take too well to threats. So as soon as that, I found that out, I booked a reservation and I decided that I was going to go out there by myself. I was going to go out there and protest his event. Now, I want to make this clear. I decided I want to go out there for obviously a cumulative, reasons that I've talked about. But what I did find out through some research was that, first of all, the guy he was talking about, in a private message, and I'll post that too, he told me that the guy wasn't even the owner, that he was a squatter that lived across the street, on the property across the street. He had no money, and that he would pay him a little bit of money out of each tour for him not to call the police. He then told George, when he saw him, that he admitted he pulls down the condemned signs from this farmhouse so that if the police do show up, he can't get in trouble. And that bothered me. I started finding out more about this location, how everything was there, and I found out that this is a very rundown place. I mean, animal feces everywhere. it's condemned for a reason. And he had 35 people that were going to be coming. He was charging $35 a head, and he made a post saying that anybody could come. He was dropping the age limit, and anybody 13 and above could come. And I was concerned about the people being put in jeopardy. They didn't know that they're being taken on private property. They're trespassing. They have no written permission from the owner to be there, and that this place is condemned. So that was my reason to go and shut this down. Sorry guys, hold on. That was my reasoning. So I was going to go out there myself and I was going to protest. I called the city to find out if I needed to get a protesting permit, because the one thing I do is I'm going to do everything legally. That way nobody could come and say I was, doing anything illegal or anything. I found out that I did not need a permit for protesting his event. That as long as I stayed on the public road, that anybody can protest anything. You just can't go on the property or inside or anything like that to do it. So that's exactly what I did. And George and his wife decided to come with me. Nathaniel came, and a few others, Yolanda and Stacy. They all came with me to support. Now, everybody really kind of had their own, everybody else had their own reasons for going. George and Nathaniel really are much more forgiving than I am, and all they wanted was an apology for the lies that have been put out about them. Good thinking, but I knew it would never happen. The other ones were people who helped him for a very long time, for years, with his events, these tours, and had seen the things that had happened, knew it was true, and they wanted to make sure that, something finally, or hope that something could finally happen as well. And a whole shit show went from there. Hold on just a second, guys. I have to apologize for people who don't know. I have a terminal illness with no cure, and so it is kind of causing me some issues. So I just wanted to do that. Hold on just a second. I need to do a message real quick, because my pancreas, which I have issues with, is giving me problems. Sorry, guys, I'll be right back. I just have to take care of this real quick. Okay, guys, I'm gonna hold on just a second. I've got to get some water. All right, guys, sorry about that. Just trying to get it under control, because if I don't, I will end up at the hospital myself. Ooh, maybe he put a voodoo hex or something on me. All right, let me check some of these messages real quick, these comments. Stephanie says, he does very shady stuff. I can vouch for that. I would not be a part of anything with this man. Thank you so much. Brian says, makes my stomach turn. I know, Brian, and I know that you hate anything that has to do with drama, so I appreciate you being here. I just wanted people to know this wasn't some witch hunt. This wasn't something to, ruin somebody and all of this, but I did feel like I did the right thing. But because of it, there was a lot of people that got attacked, and I felt bad about that. So I've been trying to kind of do damage control for everybody. Oh, hold on a second. Lori says he wants to see if witchcraft is real. I'm a senior high priestess. I'll show him. Ooh. Oh, you know what, guys? Too. Let me put up the link, and if anybody, and Ryan, I know you're watching under one of your fake profiles. So if you'd like to come on and defend yourself, as I've said on every show, you're welcome to do so. I will have a very great debate with you, and we will let the listeners make the decision. I know you're too much of a pussy to come on, so I'm not even going to worry about it, but I'm going to at least put it out there. Nobody can say I didn't. Sarah says, give me 10 minutes alone with him. I'll show him a demon. I'm going to put up the stream. So if anybody wants to come and join me and give their thoughts on this situation, feel free to do so. Let me just get to the right page. All right. All right. That is the link. If you'd like to come and join in on the stream, you're more than welcome to give your opinion. I want to be able to know. And again, hey, look, if you're out there and you think that, what I did by going out to shut this guy's tour down, let me know. It's all right. I can take it. Wouldn't mean I change anything, but you're welcome to your opinion. All right, let's see. Let's get back to here. Kristen says, who wants to sacrifice a human? Ooh, you satanic girl, you. Let's see. Roger says, I did not know he took kids to an abandoned condemned site, but also did fans or members attack him too? Please forgive as I'm trying to understand this. No, Roger, I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad that you're asking questions. That's what I want people to do, is to ask questions instead of just believing whatever they see on Facebook. So in the promo for this show, you can go to the bottom and there is a YouTube link to the live stream that I did of that. Sorry, guys, hold on just a second. And you can go and listen to that because I live streamed the whole time we were there, and nobody attacked him. So the plan was, now, as a joke, when we first got there and we met up at the hotel, I made up these little picket signs and stuff like that. It was going to be night, so I knew that nobody was going to see him. I mean, but before, George and I did a little live stream on his Facebook channel or on his Facebook page. And, we were holding the picket signs and stuff like that, made a joke out of it. So that kind of peeved off a few people, I guess, whatever. So we, again, I had called the police to let them know that, we were going to be out there. They knew we were going to be there. We weren't doing anything illegal. We were told just to stay on the street, not to go onto the private property. And that's exactly what we did. Hold on just 1 second. Thank you so very much. Mm-hmm. I had to get a backup water. So, when we got there, my intention was was that I originally wanted to get there early because he was supposed to meet up with all these people um, at like 9 o'clock, I think it was, and it was supposed to start at 9:30. So we got there around 8:30 because I wanted to attempt to talk to the quote unquote owner of the property that he talked about that had the gun and was going to shoot me, because my senses were telling me that he was lying about this guy, first of all. That second of all, that this guy didn't know probably what Ryan was doing or what he had been saying behind, the scenes about this guy would shoot anybody that came out there. So when we got there, we saw people inside the house. It was dark. And all of a sudden we hear somebody walking up the driveway towards us saying, "Hey, are you guys here for the tour? If so, you got to move your car," or something like that. And Georgia had said, "Oh, I came to get your autograph," or some silly shit like that. And as soon as he heard, he goes, "Oh my God, that sounds like George." And the first thing he said was, "You better leave or I'm going to call the cops." And I said, "Call the cops. They already know we're here. We have every right to be here. You can't stop us. Too bad." So what does he do? He takes out his taser and he starts pushing the button to zap it, walking towards us as if he was going to scare somebody. About that time, Ryan was yelling towards George. George said, "Look, I'm not here to argue or fight with you. All I want is an apology. You said I was on drugs, and that's an absolute lie. And I want an apology." And Ryan says in his own words, now he said publicly on one of the posts that he didn't know that that was true. Somebody told him that. Well, again, when you share rumors and try to make it seem as if it's facts, that's a problem. So George was just wanting a apology, and so was Nathaniel. Like I said, I didn't think it was going to happen, and it absolutely did not. So as they're going back and forth, and Ryan's telling us that we better leave, and he's using his taser and all this kind of stuff, the guy across the street came out and said, "Hey, hey, hey, who are you guys? You can't park your cars here." And I explained who we were, explained what was going on. We were trying to shut his tour there down, and the man was highly intoxicated. And the first thing he said was, "Well, if you don't leave, I'm about to go get my 9mm gun and shoot it." And at that point, we didn't take anything more. We went and called the police. And so they were on their way. As soon as Ryan found out the police were on his way, he jumped into his car and he took off out of the driveway of this abandoned, condemned house, and slammed on the gas and headed right towards Nathaniel, trying to hit him with his car. Nathaniel jumped out of the way. We all saw it. 5 people witnessed it, and took off. We figured he went up to Starbucks where he was supposedly meeting everybody. The guy that threatened us with the gun told us to, leave. Said absolutely not. He did not want the police called because obviously he was drunk. We had it on video that he had threatened to shoot us. So he was just asking us to leave. And his biggest thing was that his wife does not know that he's got this little agreement going on with Ryan for him to do the tours over there, and that she would be home soon, and that if he found us parked out in front of the house and found out what was going on, she would cause all kinds of chaos and call the police. And I said, "Well, you don't have to worry about it. They're already on their way." And so he, tried to find out things. He wanted to know why I was there. I explained what was going on. I told him what he said, and I showed him actually the screenshots of what Ryan had told me about the guy being a squatter and they had no money and blah, blah, blah. He tried to tell me that he actually owned the land. He was a farmer, and that he owned the land on both sides of the road. But I had done the research prior to ever going out there, so I knew who the register or who the legal owners of the land were in the property, and he was nowhere on it. He lives on the property across the street. I don't know if he rents or whatever, but he's not the legal owner. So I knew that, and I called him out as well. I told him that he didn't have permission. He had no, legal right to give anybody permission to be on that property because it's not his. And that Ryan was telling everybody that he was the owner and he had a gun and he would shoot anybody that came out and blah, blah, blah. And the guy didn't really believe me at the beginning. And I ended up showing him. And when I showed him, everything changed. And when I found out that he was charging $35 a person, which came out to be about $1,200 for the group of people he was coming out home, and he'd get in trouble for all this. And he just wanted us to leave. So he said, well, if I tell them to leave and they can't do the tour there, will you leave? And we said, yeah, absolutely. So he went over there. Ryan was gone. He told the other people, call him and tell him to come back, that all of them need to vacate the property. And when he came back, he jumped back over the fence, went into his home, and about 5 minutes later, the police showed up. There was about four police officers and a supervisor. And strangely enough, some of them knew about Ryan. They knew about the cemetery stuff. But what they had told us was, that did he have permission from the owner? And we said no. And they said, how do we know? And so I told them the name of the property owner, which is like a 95-year-old woman, what we don't even believe is alive anymore. House has been in their family since 1901. House across the street where this man was living, again, was in the deed was in the name of somebody other than him. So they basically, as they were talking to us, Ryan ended up showing back up. He went to Starbucks and canceled the tour. Funny thing is he said, he had to close the list because he was full with 35 people. And come to find out, according to him, only 4 people were there, that everybody else decided to not go. So he was mad. So he made it as if we were just attacking and going after him. But I'm sorry, I might have to finish this a little early because this is really starting to mess with me. Hopefully I don't need to go to the hospital. So anyway, he came back. The police basically surrounded him. They took him to the side, talked to them, and he lied and said we were attacking and harassing him. We had everything on video, so that didn't work either. And he basically was out because of the show and everything that happened. $1,200. Police told him that he could not come back unless he had written permission from the owner herself. Nobody else could give them permission. They would arrest him if he showed back up there without it. The other thing is they told him that if it wasn't a condemned building, that if he goes back there, then they will arrest him as well. So I actually, after everything and his attacks the last 2 days, this morning I called and I got the confirmation of it being a condemned building. And they are sending me a copy of the paperwork. So please believe if he takes somebody back to that place, I will make sure he's arrested. Gets arrested, definitely can't be a teacher, but I'm taking care of that as well. So a lot of stuff going, on. feel free to watch that video if you like. Let's see. God, there's just so many comments. Okay, guys, again, if you want to use that link to come on, feel free to come on. Phil says, y'all say like sacrificing a human is a bad thing. Oh, now they're gonna say you're satanic now too, Bill. All right. Andrew says, this is way beyond the field. Attacking people any way he can because you don't drink the privy Kool-Aid, pretty much. Phil says, I love this side of Christina George. Oh, guys. All right, I'm going to try to get through the rest of this real quick because I'm feeling really, really bad real quick. It's getting worse. Let me grab some more water. I'm sorry. All right, I'm gonna have to go, and I may have come back on and do a live stream here shortly. I gotta go take some medicine. It's pretty bad. Hold on. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm trying to get through this, I promise. Oh, you guys are so many comments. I'm so far behind, I can't even keep up. Ellen says, we have never trespassed on our tour, but every time he posts, he says we do. We never did a Sunday investigation and log. Another lie. Caroline says, take your time. Sorry, don't feel good. Let's see. Sorry, guys. I'm tough. I'm going to get through this. You're all right. Stacy says, after we stopped him, I had a lot of fun with you, Christina, George, and Kara. I love you guys. Yeah, it was awesome to hang out afterwards. We had a good time. We did a live stream after it was all over, and we kind of celebrated, and people were very judgmental of that. Well, I'm not going to say a bunch of people. It was like 3 people. One was Dave Miller. One was Richard Wade. And another person just kind of jumped on the bandwagon. Funny thing is that those people have, their own drama. But the first thing that they wanted to do was attack us and say that we were bullies. Strange thing is that anybody who knows Dave knows that he's had a lot of drama himself, and we had actually stood up for him, invited him on the show, all these kinds of things. And just because they saw it, they jumped on the bandwagon and just started all this crap on Sunday about, how disgusted they were about how we, conducted ourselves, and that we did all this stuff illegal, and it was just absolutely ridiculous. So that's kind of what, got everything. We have done everything legally. And I will tell you that if I come up against him, anyone else, exact same thing will happen. I I will be considered a bully if you would like to, like me to be one. But again, it wasn't about personal reasons. It was about keeping people safe. I'm not going to have adults and children going into a place that's condemned just so he can make money off of it and make up lies. Hold on. Um, Kimmy said 3 people. You're so much more than 3 people. Oh yeah, I I know that. I mean, the amount of support that came was amazing. I mean, Sunday morning I woke up and to like I think it was 94 or 96 private messages of people sending me screenshots of everything that was being said, and you know, I was shocked that people were those 3 people were posting about it. But what shocked me even more was the people who were commenting on it. And the people who were commenting on it was people who I'm mutual friends with, that act like they're my best friends, and they were over there talking shit, talking about what a bully it was, and I took it too far, and all this kind of stuff. It was absolutely ridiculous. Kristen says you can't throw gas on the fire and expect it to go out. That's. Oh, hold on. Yes, George. I'm okay. Yeah, I'm almost done. I'm okay. You want me to say? Oh, I'll send it over. Okay, hold on. I'll send it to you. Bye. Well, I told George to stay off the show today, but he wants to come on out anyway. So let me put it in there. He was telling me to go ahead and just go off and take care of myself, but this is important, update show, and I need to finish it. So let me try to get through this. Um, David said, "I ought to take that taser," and he'd end up tasing his prostrate every time he sat down. Well, the thing is it was absolutely not about violence. It was not. I mean, the whole thing was about addressing it and making sure people knew so that he wouldn't he wouldn't get away with this.
Hey,
Hello there, G Money. How are you?
good, 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 good. You're doing a great job tonight. I think the show is amazing. I think what I'm going to speak for everybody though, because we I love you and we adore you. But now it's your health right now, and I know you. I came on. I came on because it's scaring me, and I'm sure a lot of people just say, you know what, let's just move on. Let's move on. And I know you're the boss, but let's move on. Your health is more important to all of us. You've definitely made your the line in the sand, if I can say it like that. You've done a great job. And you know what? I think that you just need to put your health first. And let's move on. People don't like hearing this. I don't want to start crying. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm a crybaby and I do crack or whatever I do. But you know what? My thing is your health, and you're my friend. And you know what? I just feel terrible right now. And you know what? I'm good. I'm really good. But I came on to tell you, and I'm speaking for everybody, honey. Seriously, you need to rest. And you know what? Let's put all this stuff behind us and move on to positive and better things. And you know what? Sooner or later, there'll be other victims. And I just want you to know that I had to come on and tell you that. I adore you. I love you as my friend. And you know what? That's it. So hopefully everybody agrees with me. I think you should just move on tonight and come back Thursday strong. And let's talk about stuff that's, that is more meaningful in the paranormal. And that's us going to investigations and doing what we all like to do, and that's investigate. And let's get back. Let's get back on track. Let's get back on track. Your health is so important. And I found out today that I didn't have cancer. That it was that I scammed the system or something like that. So you know what? Um, I'm not trying to cause trouble on 3 minutes of being here. I'm not. I'm over this. I'm done with this. And you know what? I just wanted to let you know that I care about you, and Kara cares about you, and we just want you to rest. And I'm sure everybody's wants you to just rest. Let's just go on. Let's move on. Let's move on.
Yeah, everybody's saying the same thing. I appreciate all of the all
Just
the
take
concerns.
it. Just
So I just, my biggest thing, I wanted people to know
you did
what
good.
was
You
going
good. You did good. You did good, honey. And you're gonna put me. You're gonna put me on a. We don't need you to get sick. So, you know what? I'm going to say this. Ryan, can we just stop this madness? Let's all move on. Let's just all do what we love to do, and that's investigate. Let's all move on as brothers and sisters and move on. And because we don't get along or whatever,
on. I'm
let's
sorry. Fuck that.
well,
Fuck.
okay. But I'm
Not
just
all about,
okay,
this is the whole thing. It's not about love and life. It's not about you.
I know,
You know,
I
we
know.
are going to move forward from this topic. But again,
It's your
people need
health.
to know the
It's your
truth.
health. I know, but it's your health I'm worried about. I'm just saying what I feel. I'm worried about your health. So I that's all I'm saying. I didn't mean to come on your business. I just want you to know that, let's just move on.
Yeah, we are. And
That's all.
okay, guys, I am gonna go because
I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna let you go,
definitely
honey.
not feeling right. So, I love you guys. We will be back Wednesday night for the other show, and thanks for tuning in. Continue to put your comments. I will try to read them later. I'll give you guys an update. Uh, I can't even think right now, but thanks for tuning in. If you guys have any questions, let me know. I will talk to you all soon. You've been listening to Paranormal Connections radio show on the UPRN Talk Radio Network, 107.7 out of New Orleans. I'll see you next week. Love you.